Hi everyone, this is Jacob with MetaPure Products, here to talk about inflammation on today's video blog post. First and foremost, we want to make sure everybody understands that inflammation is part of the body's natural healing process. In a nutshell, all it really is increased blood flow to a certain part of the body so that the immune system can go ahead and repair the body from different things such as infections. More blood flow, carry immune system cells, help get rid of any viruses or pathogens that might be in the body, or damaged cells too. If there's damage that occurs, then blood gets rushed there, and the immune system works on repairing and replenishing those cells. And then most importantly, even though inflammation occurs and it can last for, depending on what's going on, for a few days to even a week or so, little by little that inflammation slowly decreases. Okay, so the swelling goes down, the redness subsides, and that's the typical process. Now what really makes inflammation worrisome is when it's overextended or when it happens for a longer period of time, and this equals problems, specifically autoimmune issues. So for example, arthritis, okay? Let me just give you an example of how this occurs. Here we have knee joints, for instance, and let's just say, for example, that I'm a person that's I can lose a few pounds, so I'm a bit overweight. The body in and of itself, the bones and the system there is created in such a way to sustain only a certain amount of weight. So if I have too much weight, then my bones aren't going to be able to sustain that pressure, and then there's damage that occurs within the joints. And so what happens is inflammation then comes to the rescue, if you will. So all this blood flow goes there to help kind of repair the damage that's taking place. But unfortunately, if I'm overweight and I'm not losing that weight, then we have sustained damage over a period of time, so the inflammation never ever goes away. And so that's one of the reasons people have, for example, arthritis in their joints, within the knees or other parts of the body due to, for example, in some instances, overweight. So that's one example of how inflammation can be extended longer than is typically the case. When that happens, we can also get allergies. Is another autoimmune issue that can take place when we're having inflammation over an extended period of time. Crohn's disease also can occur, and then digestive issues as well. Now, something I really want to note here is inflammation. Usually when we think about it, we think of something that we can see. So once again, jump to the example in the joints. Let's just say we can tell that our knee is swollen, or that our elbow is swollen, or I don't know, we got a scratch and we can see that it's getting a little red and such. But really, inflammation occurs in every part of the body, both exteriorly, or what we can see, as well as on the inside. So organs such as your intestines, or systems such as the digestive tract, your intestines, your lungs, etc. They can all experience inflammation, and that's something very, very important to know. Now the challenge here is when you have extended inflammation, there are chemicals that are being left in blood, in our bloodstream, as well as in the fibers of the body, which ends up damaging nearby cells, which is pretty problematic, and ends up producing a response from the immune system, wherein you just have this chronic inflammation taking place. And something important here to note is cancer can also occur due to extended inflammation. Once again, I talked about the fact that nearby cells are being constantly damaged because inflammation is taking place. And so, without getting too much into detail on cancer, if those cells aren't able to healthily replenish themselves, then you have an area where you could possibly get, cancerous type cells forming because of that. All right, so how do we alleviate inflammation, or what are some actions that we can do to make sure that doesn't take place? All right, first and foremost, a lot of things start with nutrition. It's very important that we eat healthy. Once again, going back to the fact that inflammation can take place within fibers and internally. If we're eating constantly, highly acidic foods, or foods that are unhealthy or high in fat, we can have inflammation within our digestive tract in our stomach, etc. So it's very important that we eat a balanced meal. Also, make sure you wash your fruits and vegetables. So you could be eating healthily, but if you're not washing those fruits and vegetables, remember that could cause some problems because there's a lot of herbicides and pesticides that are used in order to be able to have for farmers to be able to grow their crop. And if you're not washing those, you can get a lot of residual chemicals on the fruit and vegetables themselves. You're consuming that goes in the body recognizes that as foreign, and then we get that rush of blood and the inflammation process that occurs to get rid of that. Also, make sure you avoid packaged and canned foods. This is pretty important. Most people understand now at this point that in order for food to have a long shelf life, companies need to put chemicals in there so the food doesn't go bad. And there's actually been a direct association here with Crohn's disease, as I mentioned earlier, and packaged and canned foods. A lot of the studies that they're finding is that they see that younger demographics, younger generations, are the ones that are acquiring Crohn's disease. It isn't really found too commonly with older groups. And what they're starting to piece together here is a lot of it has to do with packaged and canned foods. So our generation, perhaps your generation, maybe grew up with packaged foods, and because of that, now we're getting these issues taking place, such as Crohn's disease, which is inflammation within the digestive tract. I also lose weight. That can be a huge help, once again, when we're referring to the joints and arthritis, and that kind of the problems that are sustained there due to inflammation. That can help significantly. If you have any questions, feel free to email us directly at jacob@metapureproducts.com. Go to our website, metapure.net, and then please feel free to follow our blog. We have a lot of great information that we post every Friday. We have a new video that comes out on different health topics. We'd love to have you follow that, and we hope you found this helpful. And let us know if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye-bye.